Have you ever looked at a photograph of yourself from just 10 or 15 years ago and thought, that person was still firing on all cylinders? What's changed? It's a common feeling. We often chalk up the changes we see after 75 or 80 to bad luck or the genetic lottery. We're told it's just the way things are. But what if it's not? What if there are subtle forces at play, quiet saboteurs that silently chip away at our strength and spirit, often without us even noticing? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on 5 of these unexpected reasons. These aren't about diet or exercise. We know those are important. This is about the deeper currents of life that shape our golden years. This 20-minute journey is an investment in your future. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's discover how to reclaim the art of thriving.
Part 1. The Vanishing Hello. Reclaiming the power of small connections. Our first saboteur is one of the sneakiest because it masquerades as convenience. I call it the vanishing hello. Think about your life 20 years ago. You'd go to the bank and chat with the teller. You'd linger at the grocery store and exchange a pleasantry with the cashier about the price of melons. You knew the mailman's name. These weren't deep, soul-bearing conversations. They were small, fleeting moments of human contact, microsocial interactions. And as it turns out, they were as vital to our well-being as vitamins. Each of those tiny interactions was a deposit into our emotional bank account. It was a signal to our nervous system that said, "You are safe. You belong here. You are part of this tribe." It kept our social muscles toned and our brains sharp. Now, fast forward to today. We do our banking on an app. We order groceries online with a click, and they appear on our doorstep. We use the self-checkout lane to avoid the line. In the name of efficiency, we have systematically dismantled the very framework of daily human connection that once sustained us. We might think we're simplifying life, but we're actually sterilizing it. I remember a gentleman named Arthur, a proud 84-year-old widower. His kids worried about him living alone, but he seemed to be doing fine. His secret? Every single morning, rain or shine, he'd walk 3 blocks to a small diner, sit at the counter, and order 1 cup of coffee and a slice of toast. He'd greet the waitress, Martha, by name. He'd nod to the 2 other regulars who did the same. He'd talk about the weather, complain about the local sports team, and listen to Martha's stories about her grandkids. That 10-minute ritual wasn't just about coffee. It was his anchor. It was proof he existed. It made him feel seen. When the diner closed down, Arthur's decline was swift and heartbreaking. His world shrank to the 4 walls of his house. The vanishing hello took its toll. His body interpreted the sudden silence and isolation as a threat, triggering a low-grade stress response that never turned off. The lesson here is profound. These moments are not trivial. They are the lifeblood of a vibrant existence. So how do we fight back? We must become intentional. Make it a personal rule to have 1 real face-to-face interaction with a stranger every day. Choose the checkout lane with the friendly-looking cashier. Ask the young man stocking shelves where the olive oil is, even if you know. Linger on your front porch when the neighbor walks their dog. These aren't just pleasantries. They are acts of biological self-preservation. They are potent medicine telling your brain and body a crucial truth. You still matter. You're still in the game.
Part 2. The Gilded Cage. Escaping the prison of overcautious inactivity. The second saboteur is born from love and a desire for safety, but it can quickly become a prison.
I call it the gilded cage of overcautious inactivity. It starts innocently. Perhaps you had a small slip on a patch of ice last winter. No harm done, but it was a scare. Or you felt a bit dizzy after standing up too quickly. Your family, out of love, says, "Dad, take it easy, don't push yourself. Maybe you shouldn't go for your walk if it's damp out." You listen. You stop taking the stairs. You avoid bending down to pick something up, waiting for someone else to get it. You decide against going to your grandson's baseball game because the bleachers feel too high. Slowly, you build a life that is perfectly safe, perfectly still, and perfectly devoid of the very thing that keeps you strong: movement. Here's the harsh truth our bodies live by. What you don't use, you lose, and you lose it faster than you can imagine. Your body isn't a car that you can park in the garage to preserve it. It's a garden that withers without constant tending. When you stop moving, your core muscles, the deep, stabilizing muscles in your trunk, are the first to go. These are the muscles that hold you upright, that allow you to balance on one foot to put on your pants, that give you the power to get out of a comfortable armchair without a struggle. Let's talk about Walter from the video. He was 82, and his evening walks were his pride. After one minor slip, the fear took root. He traded his walking shoes for the TV remote. Within 6 months, he wasn't the same man. He hadn't stopped walking because he was weak. He became weak because he stopped. He had willingly walked into a gilded cage, believing it was for his own good. His body simply obeyed the new instructions it was given. We are no longer needed for movement. Begin shutdown sequence. Now, this is not a call for recklessness. It's a call for wisdom. There's a world of difference between managing risk and surrendering to fear. Smart caution is using a cane or walker for stability. It's wearing good, supportive shoes. It's installing a grab bar in the shower. Fear-based paralysis is deciding never to walk on grass again, or to stop visiting friends because their house has a few steps. So I ask you to take an honest inventory. Are you doing less because you physically can't, or because you're afraid of what might happen? Start small. Put on your favorite music and dance in the kitchen. Practice standing up from a chair without using your hands 5 times in a row. Look into chair yoga or Tai Chi classes. Movement is a conversation with your body. It's how you remind every cell that you are still alive, still needed, and still going strong. Don't let fear build you a beautiful cage.
Part 3. The Rhythm of Light. Resyncing your ancient inner clock. Deep inside every one of us is an ancient internal conductor, a master clock that governs nearly everything, from our energy and mood to how our body heals itself as we sleep. This is our circadian rhythm. Our third quiet saboteur is the modern world's assault on this beautiful, natural rhythm, especially through irregular light exposure. For millennia, human life was governed by a simple, powerful pattern: bright, blue spectrum light from the sun during the day, and darkness or the warm red spectrum light of a fire at night. This pattern set our internal clock perfectly. Morning light hit our retinas and told our brain, it's go time, release cortisol, boost energy, be alert. Darkness signaled the opposite, time to rest and repair, release melatonin, prepare for deep sleep.
After 80, this internal clock becomes more sensitive, more easily confused, and our modern habits are the primary culprits. We spend more time indoors, behind windows that filter out the beneficial wavelengths of natural light. We nap in the afternoon, further confusing our body about when to be alert. Then, as evening falls, we flood our homes with bright artificial light and stare into the blue glow of televisions, tablets, and phones. We are essentially telling our brain it's noon at 9 p.m. The result? Fragmented, poor quality sleep. You might spend 8 hours in bed, but wake up feeling foggy and unrested. Your energy lags during the day, your mood becomes unstable, and your memory feels fuzzy. It's not just about feeling tired. This chronic disruption weakens your immune system and accelerates cognitive decline. It also hampers your body's ability to produce vitamin D from sunlight, which is critical for bone health, muscle function, and mood. The story of Helen, the 84-year-old woman from the video, is a perfect illustration. Her doctors couldn't find anything wrong, yet she felt tired and disoriented. The prescription wasn't a pill, it was light. 20 minutes of morning sun and no screens before bed. It sounds too simple to be true, but within 2 weeks, her world came back into focus. You can do this too. Create a light hygiene routine. Within an hour of waking, get outside. Sit on the porch with your coffee. Even on a cloudy day, the ambient light is far more powerful than your indoor lamps. Let that morning light hit your eyes and skin. Then, in the evening, do the opposite. An hour or two before bed, start dimming the lights. Use warm-toned lamps. Put the phone away. Let your body receive the ancient signal that it's time to wind down. Restoring this simple rhythm is one of the most powerful anti-aging strategies there is. You are bringing your body back into harmony with nature. You are telling it, even at 85, we are still on schedule.
Part 4. The Unspoken Weight. Giving your grief a voice. This next saboteur is perhaps the most poignant and the most difficult to talk about. It's the unspoken weight of accumulated loss. If you are listening to this and you are in your 80s, you are a survivor. You have lived a long life, and the price of a long life is loss. You have said goodbye to parents, to siblings, to lifelong friends, and perhaps even to a spouse of 50 or 60 years. You belong to a generation that was taught to be strong, to be stoic, to carry on without complaint. The world offers its sympathy for a short while, and then it expects you to be over it. But the heart doesn't work that way. And what often happens is that the grief, the anger, the profound loneliness, it doesn't go away. It gets swallowed. It gets pushed down into a deep, quiet place inside, where it becomes a heavy, unspoken weight. And here is the critical link that is so often missed. The body keeps the score. Grief that is not expressed, not shared, not given a voice, does not disappear. It transforms. It turns into physical symptoms. It becomes chronic inflammation. It disrupts your digestion. It puts your nervous system into a constant low-grade state of alarm, exhausting your adrenal glands and weakening your immune system. It can manifest as that persistent ache in your shoulders, that shallow breathing, that feeling that your inner spark has been dimmed. Think of George, the 86-year-old who lost his wife of 6 decades. He said he was doing all right. He didn't cry. He believed he was being strong for his family. But his body was telling a different story. The weight loss, the insomnia, the withdrawal from his friends. It wasn't a new disease. It was the physical manifestation of a heart carrying a sorrow it was never allowed to release. Emotional ventilation is as crucial to long-term health as physical exercise. It's the courage to say out loud, "I am lonely today," or "I am still so angry that he's gone," or simply, "I miss her." Finding a safe outlet is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate sign of strength. This could be a trusted friend, a daughter or son who is willing to just listen without trying to fix it. It could be a grief support group, either in person or online. It could be journaling, writing unsent letters to the one you lost. It could be talking to a pastor or a therapist. The form doesn't matter as much as the function. The act of expressing the pain allows the body to finally exhale. It releases the tension it has been holding for months or even years. To thrive past 80, you must be willing to tend to your heart. You cannot carry that much weight forever. Giving your grief a voice is how you finally, gently set it down.
Part 5. The Daily Anchor. Forging Purpose in the Present Moment. Our final quiet saboteur is the slow, creeping erosion of daily purpose. Now, I'm not talking about some grand philosophical meaning of life. I'm talking about the simple, humble, everyday reasons to get out of bed in the morning. When we were working, our purpose was clear. When we were raising children, our purpose was loud and demanding. But in retirement, as the nest empties and routines change, our purpose can become quiet and then fade away entirely. It's the cancellation of the weekly bridge game. It's the church group that stopped meeting. It's the end of a volunteer role because it became too physically demanding. It's the feeling that no one really needs you today. Each of these small losses creates a vacuum, and the days can begin to blend into a quiet, formless fog of waiting. This is incredibly dangerous because the mind and body are in constant communication. When the mind no longer has a reason to get up and engage with the day, it sends a message to the body. Our services are no longer required, you can power down. And the body listens. Appetite wanes. Movement slows. The complex systems that regulate your health go into standby mode. Not because they are broken, but because they're waiting for a job to do. This is why Ruth, the 88-year-old woman from the video, was so vibrant. Her life wasn't grand, she didn't travel the world, but she had purpose woven into the fabric of her days. On Mondays, she wrote postcards. On Thursdays, she made soup for the shelter. Every single day at 4 p.m., she had a job: to sit by her window and be the friendly face the neighborhood kids saw on their way home from school. She was their sentinel, their waving grandma. Those small rituals were her daily anchors. They gave her day structure and her heart rhythm. They were a declaration that she was still a contributing member of the world. That is the secret. The body will fight to stay alive as long as it believes it's needed. Purpose, even the smallest kind, is the fuel for that fight. It tells your cells to keep repairing, your brain to keep firing, and your heart to keep beating with intention. So, If you've been feeling adrift, it's time to create your own anchors. It doesn't have to be big. Adopt a houseplant that needs you to water it. Commit to doing the daily crossword puzzle to keep your mind sharp. Make it your mission to call one person every afternoon just to check in. Take responsibility for feeding the birds or a stray cat. Organize one drawer or one shelf a week. Purpose isn't something you find, it's something you build, one small, meaningful action at a time. It is the reason you rise and the quiet force that carries you forward. As we come to a close, let's hold these 5 truths in our hands: the vanishing hello, the gilded cage, the rhythm of light, the unspoken weight, and the daily anchor. The fading we sometimes see after 80 is rarely the result of one single event. It is the slow, quiet accumulation of these subtle shifts: the lost conversation, the walk not taken, the grief held too tightly, the mourning without a mission. But the most empowering truth of all is that what fades slowly can be restored slowly. It doesn't require a dramatic life overhaul. It begins with one conscious choice. One decision to walk to the corner store instead of driving. One moment of soaking in the morning sun. One phone call to an old friend. One small task you give yourself that says, "I am needed today." Our journey through these years is not a passive decline. It is an active, moment-by-moment creation. You hold far more power than you think to shape the way you age. If this conversation resonated with you today, please help our community grow. Take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the Senior Wise Journey channel. And most importantly, share it with a friend, a sibling, or a neighbor who might need to hear this message. In the comments below, tell us, which of these 5 ideas spoke to you the most? We read every comment, and your stories give us encouragement. Thank you for being here. Stay curious, stay connected, and live well.